all the fellow panelists, fellow speakers, invitees. Very happy that I'm getting a chance to share some thoughts with all of you. And I would also like to congratulate IESA for organizing this AI summit, the first of its kind here in Hyderabad, because I have been associated personally also as a representative of the Telangana state with IESA for many, many years. We have done some great events here in Hyderabad. I have participated in their events happening elsewhere as well. And I always cherish my association with IESA. I have found great value in the deliberations, in the discussions they organize. And I'm very confident that the AI summit, which is happening here today, will also be of tremendous value addition to all the participants. I'm also very delighted that this event is taking place in Hyderabad, because apart from everything else, I can take true pride in saying that Hyderabad is rapidly emerging as the AI hub in our country. In fact, some of you may not know this, but state government of Telangana was one of the first states to include AI in our policies way back in 2015, when people were still not very sure about the bunch of emerging technologies about whom we are very much familiar today. But in 2015, things were not yet so crystal clear, and people were circumspect about AI. But despite that, Telangana was the first state to speak about AI, include it in our policies. And subsequently, we have done multiple things. In fact, 2020, which otherwise has been a very difficult year for everyone, we, on the other hand, celebrated 2020 as the year of AI. And throughout the year, despite the fact that there were lockdowns, there were other kind of restrictions, almost 80%, more than 80% of what we had planned to do in that year, we were able to deliver. So certain things which were very important for us for 2020 was, first of all, we brought out a dedicated framework on AI. What exactly is the government's commitment towards AI, the growth of AI in Telangana? What are we responsible for? So first of all, that aspect was explained very clearly in that framework. So for instance, we have committed that government will make high performance computing available. And I'm very happy that some of the member companies of IESA have also supported Telangana government's vision on high performance computing. NVIDIA, just to give an example, has set up high performance computing labs at 2 locations in the state. And that has become a very big boon to AI researchers, AI programmers in handling large data sets. Another commitment that we made in our AI framework was that the state government will make accessible large data sets to researchers, programmers, analysts. As you know, government is the custodian of large data sets, but typically these data sets are held very closely to the department's chests. But we have now demystified all that. Machine readable data sets in the correct format are all available in the public domain. And if you just visit opendata.telangana.govt.in, you'll be able to find nearly 90+ data sets, which are today of tremendous advantage to AI practitioners, including some very important rainfall data, weather data, agriculture data, mobility data, etc., etc. We are also very conscious of the fact, in fact, I'm sure most of you will know this, that when the country was speaking about India emerging as a $5 trillion economy, there was a belief that literally $1 trillion of that will be contributed by IT, by technology, that is. And again, NASSCOM had done a study which showed that half of it, that is 500 million, will come from AI alone. So one single domain of technology has so much of potential in improving our GDP, in having that multiplier effect in our economy. But there was one very important caveat which has been placed. And that caveat was that all that will materialize only if enough number of skilled people are made available. And in Telangana, as the government, we see this as our prime responsibility. Apart from everything else that we do, the most important thing for us is to ensure that enough range of skills. And normally when we speak about AI, the belief is that it is a very homogeneous kind of domain where equal kind of skills are required. But most of you would know that that is not the truth. Right from very basic kind of data annotation, data organizing, data cleansing, right from that level of skills, you require very high level PhD kind of skills, writing algorithms, etc., etc. So as a government, as I said, this is one of the prime most responsibility for us to create this range of skills. And we have done certain things which are extremely revolutionary. In fact, I would like to share one initiative in which I myself was personally responsible. So till recently, for almost a year and 8 months, I was the officiating vice chancellor of a state-run technology university in Hyderabad, which is called JNTU, the Jawaharlal Nehru Technology University. So the university is pretty well established. There are 240 colleges under this university. But one decision which I took in my tenure was that regardless of whatever you are studying in the university, you may be a civil engineer, you may be an aeronautical engineering student, you may do whatever else you are doing. The university also incidentally offers courses in pharmacy, because Hyderabad is a very important life sciences hub for the country, for the world actually. Also offers standard MBA programs, BBA programs. So the decision which we took was, and the regulation that we introduced was, that regardless of what you study in the university, you must compulsorily do a course on artificial intelligence. And this is not just a formality kind of a course. It's a compulsory course. You have to attend the classes, you have to write assignments, you have to appear in an exam, you will be graded. That grade will appear on your grade sheet. And if you, for some reason, if you're not able to pass, the results will be withdrawn. So it's a very serious kind of a course. And to the best of my knowledge, even the IITs do not have this kind of a regulation, what we have introduced in JNTU. And of course, many of the good JNTU colleges are very enterprising. They have introduced full-fledged AI courses. AI is a big optional available to engineering students, and so on and so forth. So we are on track in providing a huge range of skills that are required for AI applications, etc. And all that is working very well. We have also committed in the framework that government itself will be the first adopter of some of the AI products and solutions which are of relevance to the citizens, which are of importance to the government. And again, I'm very proud to share this with you that in 2020 itself, more than a dozen such solutions were introduced. And subsequently, of course, I should clarify, when I mentioned that 2020 was celebrated as the year of AI in Telangana, it doesn't mean that we did not do anything thereafter. We did not do anything in 2021, or we did not do anything in 2022. We built upon what we did in 2020. And all those programs that we initiated are all going on. New programs have been added, and so on and so forth. So, as I said, we introduced many AI adoption in 2020 itself, and subsequently we have introduced many more. And all put together between 2020, and a few adoptions were made even prior to 2020. So before, since the beginning until now, I can tell you for sure that at least 24 plus products and solutions enabled by AI are introduced in the state. And some of them are very, very radical. In fact, one of the most satisfying application, which is of course also of a recent origin, is on remote voting. Many of us keep dreaming about it, that how easy and how comfortable will it be if I just sit at home and I cast my vote. Because voting is, we all are conscious of the fact that as a citizen, it's a very fundamental responsibility, but we are also wary of going out and standing in a complicated queue, which is also so chaotic and all that. And it's not a very pleasant experience. And perhaps that is one of the reasons why, at least in urban areas, the voting percentage is not very high. So we have been able to demonstrate in an actual situation in a town in Telangana called Khammam. We actually did a demo of remote voting where 3,500 registered voters actually sat in their homes and used their phones to cast their votes, and the votes were secured, the results were polled. And one very important part of the voting process, as all of you would be aware, is the physical identification of the voter. And we used a very sophisticated AI algorithm to do identification when you are sitting at home by using a self-image, or selfie as it is popularly called, and doing that facial recognition, matching it with the image that is stored in database, and so on and so forth. So many such satisfying applications of AI which have been rolled out in the state of Telangana in the last few years. And as I said, remote voting is one of them. So all this comes out of the framework in which the government assures that we will first ourselves walk the talk. I mean, without waiting for anyone else to show the results or show the solutions, etc. We ourselves will become the early adopters. And as I said, more than 24 such solutions have been tried out from the beginning till now, and many more are in the pipeline as well. Other very important component of our AI framework relates to governance issues. We all know that whatever skepticism the world has about AI relates to lots of ethical matters, lots of privacy issues, lots of governance issues. And we are very clear that government has to play that role of setting standards, of oversight, of monitoring. And we have set up these kind of frameworks. We have very good partnerships also. So, for instance, World Economic Forum has a wing or a center which is called Center for Responsible Deployment of Emerging Technologies. So we are one of the partners, and they are guiding us on how to set up this framework of ethics and governance and so on and so forth. So this is how the AI framework has been established, and you can read it up on our website, www.it.telangana.gov.in. But there are many other things also. So once the framework is there, typically this is something which people comment quite a lot about our country, that great policies are written, great approach papers are written, great frameworks are developed, but nothing happens on the ground. Everything remains on paper. And one of the main reasons why such a scenario happens is that no one takes responsibility for implementing the policy or the approach paper or the framework, etc. So what we have done in Telangana is to create a separate setup which is completely responsible for AI programs, and that is called TAIM, the Telangana Artificial Intelligence Mission. So the name itself indicates that it is a very empowered kind of a body. It includes people from the private sector. Some of your member companies are also represented in TAIM. We have academia, we have World Economic Forum, CDAC, Niti Aayog, which is represented there. And of course, it is an initiative led by the government of Telangana. So TAIM is the primary body which is responsible for implementing everything which we have committed in our artificial intelligence framework. And the other important thing to share with you is that, of course, on paper, all kinds of bodies can be created. But do you have the talent to run these kind of institutions? And again, I feel very happy to share with you that we have recruited people from the open market based on their merit, based on their ability, their talent to run this institution. So we have a very good pool of resources who have very good understanding, personal understanding of personal familiarity with emerging technology, including artificial intelligence, and they are running the show under this TAIM. So as I said, I'm very happy that you have chosen to locate this conference, to host this conference in Hyderabad, because this is where, and I'm very, very confident that in no other state, in no other city, will you have so much of attention to AI, so many programs under AI, etc., which are happening here. So I'm very confident that in the areas of ESDM, in the areas of VLSI, etc., also there are lots of AI-based opportunities that are possible, and we'll be very keen to partner with not just IESA as an industry body, but also with individual member companies. I already gave you so many examples of the things we have done in AI related to, of course, I gave only one example of remote voting, but we have large number of solutions on agriculture, on healthcare, on mobility, on policing, etc., which have all been curated with the help of a private sector company which has created the solution, and we have partnered with them. So as I said, in ESDM, in VLSI also, lots of opportunities are there. And while, as I said, my colleagues are attending, and I would like to request them to keep an eye on some good solutions which are spoken about, some good case studies that are talked about. We would like to try them out in our state as well. And as I told, there's a very strong implementing agency called TAIM, we have individuals who are very capable in guiding you on how to take this initiative further. So I look forward to some very fruitful outcomes of this seminar. I also hope that this seminar, while this is the first one of its kind, I hope it is organized every year. This becomes a signature annual summit to really look forward to. And I do hope that Hyderabad will continue to be your host in future as well. But great interacting with all of you. My best wishes for the success of this summit. Thank you very much.